man. And just so you know, two of my stories today are extremely long, okay? And so I summarized these in a little bit and just to kind of give you guys a brief rundown. But I'll tell you what's happening in New York. Big weed is on the brink of a multi-million-dollar surge into New York's cannabis market. Oh, Rico, I can't wait for you to comment on this. In a quote, "It was a future investment," said Bierman. "Manhattan is a jewel, maybe the jewel of North America, for building a brand around the world." In 2018, MedMen opened one of its signature retail stores for medical users only on Fifth Avenue, envisioning the day it would sell to the broad mix of New Yorkers and tourists passing by. While corporate controversy led to Bierman's exit from the business a few years ago, many investors and cannabis entrepreneurs have flocked to New York in his stead, bitten by the same bug. Today, there are 11 medical marijuana companies licensed in the state. Each has invested millions in its operations, all with the gleam of the 2021 legalization in their eyes. Now, their moment has come. That's right. If, as expected, the state's cannabis regulatory agency passes on Tuesday a proposed set of permanent rules for the industry, any of the 11 medical companies that pony up $5 million down payment will be able to open one of their medical stores to sell cannabis products to adults 21 and over by the end of the year, a couple of years earlier than previously proposed. They'll be allowed to cultivate up to 100,000 square feet of weed indoor environments not permitted for other growers, allowing them 5 harvests a year compared to 1 for the struggling individual farmers currently licensed by the state to grow outdoors only. And they'll be the only state license allowed to operate fully farm to processor to retail operations. State officials prohibited this type of vertical integration in the law legalizing cannabis so that small operators entertaining the market had a better chance to succeed against deep-pocketed corporate players. And for those who have tracked the state's legalization process, Big Weed's multi-million-dollar entry may come as a surprise. When legalization took place in March of 2021, the law's progressive character assumed center stage, and the state granted the first retail licenses to people who had been locked up on weed-related charges and their relatives. Upstate farmers who had lost their shirts when the market for hemp collapsed and the chance to grow the state's first legal crops. To promote sustainability, the state required them to plant outdoors instead of in greenhouses, which trap globe warming gases, they say. Oh, so the environmentalists got in and said, no, you can't do this. Nonetheless, in another quote, "No other state in the county prioritized the people who were most negatively impacted more than New York." State Assembly Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Stokes, Democrat from Buffalo, who co-sponsored the legislation, told the city in an interview, "Now, with the state having failed to roll out more than a handful of weed stores, a court injunction halting the opening of stores owned by people affected by drug laws and licensed growers sitting on hundreds of thousands of pounds of rotting product," told you guys their weed is old, of the dearth of authorized retailers. The companies are about to cash in on a market they have campaigned to reach for years through millions of dollars of lobbying in Albany. Matt Darwin, the CEO of Curaleaf, a $3 billion cannabis corporation, said that getting into the wilder adult use business from the medical niche was always the goal. Well. It seems like New York is set to open up a few more dispensaries as long as these companies pony up that $5 million to open up one store. What do you think about this social equity-ness, Rico? This is Jason Beck for the High at 9 News Hour. What do y'all think?
Corporate welfare.
Corporate welfare. Oh man, that's a good one. I wonder.
It was only a matter of time before the states sold out to the MSOs.
Bro, they sold everybody out with this one. Hold on, I just want to know where the $5 million is going to go to, because we know it's not going to go to the Curders.
It's gonna go to.
We know it's not going to go to the fund that never raised the money that said they had the money. We know it's not going to go there too. So where else do we know it's not going to go?
It's gonna go to. I think maybe a fifth of that is going to be accounted for, and that's going to go into police enforcement.
Police enforcement.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, because they have a shitstorm to untangle.
They're never going to untangle that shitstorm.
Never.
But they're gonna dump money into it anyway, though.
They will dump money, and there'll be some casualties.
That toothpaste back into that tube.
Yeah, it's too much sand to shovel it all back in the ocean. That's for sure. What do you think about this, Matthew? You're pretty quiet today. Are you still acclimating back to reality?
I am. Yeah, man. I'm just back to this daily grind here.
Are you still seeing trips? Are you still looking at
I feel great.
Okay.
I feel great. In fact, a couple nights I stayed up with no drugs just to do a little experiment, and I really realized that it's sleep deprivation, not drugs, that get you all loopy. But I'm anti-big MSO, but I think that we just need to let this thing all kind of wash itself out. We need further education and experience for folks, and then see them making better choices. But it's kind of like the same thing we see everywhere. You see Applebee's and McDonald's flourishing, even though their food is garbage and chemicals, pressed together to kind of resemble some actual food product. Biggest thing we need is education for everybody, realizing that what you put into your body equals what's going to come out of your body, the thoughts you make, the statements you make, etc. So, let big weed come in everywhere they come in, they're fucking failing, and let's just keep boxing it out. What we see in California here is people who are creating high quality products with care for the industry and community are flourishing, or at least surviving. What's that?
Man, oh man.
Live to fight another day.
Yeah.
Were those some good human words, you guys?
That was cute. That was great. that was good. What do you think about this, Mandy? New York's such a shit show.
I mean, I feel like every single episode we spend about 15 minutes talking about New York and the shit show that it is, and and none of this is, it was coming. These big MSOs were coming at some point. I mean, it's New York, for God's sakes. Like, they've been there hiding, just waiting their turn.
They said this was the goal all along. They said it. Boris said
it's
it.
New York City, Coca-Cola.
It's the goal all along.
The number one most advertised product there. Global cannabis coming out of New York, guys.
Man. New York.
The trap is gonna be stronger than ever.
That is for sure, without a doubt.
Fire under the trap.
International business just got so much stronger, right?
Yes, it did.
Man,
yes, it did.
This New York, man, I'm telling you, these MSOs, they are just literally, they are frothing. I bet you they're going to be able to go and do a whole new capital raise just based off this news alone after Tuesday, once it's finalized.
Absolutely, it will. I mean, just the Health and Human Services making their recommendation made everybody run out and start buying cannabis stocks.
It was
just a recommendation. It wasn't even adopted.
I'll tell you what,
Let's just be real. It was a distraction by the U.S. government. They ain't gonna be doing nothing.
Well, hold on.
You know what? Just go buy more stuff. That's all our government does, is just put out a bunch of shiny objects for people to follow and just go buy. So you can go broke and go deeper into debt, and then get money by nefarious.
With these MSOs being able to be the only vertically operated cannabis companies in the state of New York, you know what I find very, very interesting is that they will also be the only companies with indoor, and they'll be the only ones with the freshest weed in all of New York, because of the fact that they're allowed to cultivate indoors and they don't have to sell year-old outdoor boof like all the other retailers, putting all these social equity applicants at another major disadvantage.
I mean,
they're
these
gonna run
other
this
stores
supply
don't
chain.
have to sell old weed.
Yeah, that is. That's all that they have in the market out there. They don't have any indoor out there in their market, in their legal market. It's all of this outdoor hemp farm bull ass. The only indoor weed you're getting in New York is if you're buying it from a bodega. You're not getting no indoor weed from any New York licensed store.
Is it still indoor weed if you buy it outside?
Well, that's why they have the farmers markets. Oh, I see what you did there.